ॐ भद्रं कर्णैभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us pray together. We offer our salutations to the all-loving being who endows all beings with consciousness. We meditate on the Lord, who is the origin of the universe. Lord, thou abidest in all. Thou art all. Thou assumest all forms. Thou art the origin and goal of all. Thou art the self of all. Thou art existence, knowledge, and bliss. Salutations unto thee. May the world be peaceful. May the wicked become gentle. May all creatures think of mutual welfare. May their minds be occupied with what is spiritual and abiding. May our hearts be immersed in selfless love for the Lord. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Let us feel our true divine nature in our heart as a very bright, luminous flame. This flame is the source of all power. This power within protects us from all dangers. This power is like the mother who protects the children from all calamities and dangers. Let us feel this resplendent power in the form of Mother Durga in our heart, and let us meditate on that. Let us feel, in addition to her protecting power, also the guiding and elevating power. She is the soul of our soul. She includes everyone, everything in the universe. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Devi प्रपन्नार्ति हरे प्रसीद प्रसीद मातर जगतोऽखिलस्य प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरि पाहि विश्वं त्वमीश्वरी सर्वचराचरस्य. Dear friends, yesterday we had the worship of the divine in the feminine form of Mother Durga. And although the most popular text of worshipping Durga is the Durga Saptashati or Chandi. There is another important text which is part of the Vedic literature, and that is Durga Suktam. Durga Suktam is very different from the understanding of Durga that we get by reading the 700 verses on Durga. Here, the Mother Durga is actually thought of as having all three genders, neuter, feminine, masculine, indicating that there is no gender limitation to that. So, this motherhood of Durga is not of that kind where you have a particular gender and then there is mother, there is father, but this is a different kind of parenthood. It is your very soul gets manifested through that. It is a genderless thing and controls everything by being in everything. So it is a divine parenthood. So it is neither fatherhood nor motherhood. It is a genderless parenthood that you find in this. Moreover, she is described as resplendent with knowledge. All the knowledge is there without actually trying to earn it. Born as if its very nature is knowledge. So, we earn knowledge by studying books or going to some teacher, and thus we earn knowledge, effacing the ignorance thereby. But this mother or Durga, this Durga is born with knowledge and is indicated in this hymn, Durga Suktam, as identical with fire. There is, the fire is described in Vedas as Jata Vedas, means born with all knowledge. Jata means born, Veda means knowledge. Jata Vedas means is there, it is inherent in this fire, and this what is described as Durga is identical with this fire. So this hymn is chanted very often in many different organizations or by people, millions of people every day. Here also we chant it in the morning very often, not every day, but say once or twice every week. So it begins with this prayer. That chant begins with this customary prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishvavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we get the illumination and capacity to work together. May our study be illumined in our life or get manifested in our life. And may there be no hatred amongst us. So, with this introductory prayer called Shanti Mantra, the peace chant, now we will look at the text of this Durga Suktam as it appears in Mahanarayana Upanishad. Mahanarayana Upanishad is not one of those 10 Upanishads or 11 Upanishads on which you find Shankaracharya has written commentaries. But there are some commentaries on this Upanishad as well. This Upanishad is very important Upanishad because it is used for conferring the monastic vows, sannyasa. So when one gets this monastic vows or sannyasa, then those vows are actually mostly contained in this Upanishad. And many of the wonderful hymns that we recite, they are also part of this Mahanarayana Upanishad, which is part of the Krishna Yajurveda, the dark Yajurveda as it were. I am not going into the details about what is a dark Yajurveda and what is a fair complexion Yajurveda. But there are stories, very nice anecdotes about it, but we don't have time for it today. But this is just to let you know that this is a part of the Vedas. The idea is that everything that you see in Hinduism has its roots in the Vedas. Swami Vivekananda therefore gives this name that Hinduism is not the correct name at all. You will find in his essay on Hinduism that it was submitted to the Parliament of Religions in 1893. So in that essay, he begins that Hinduism is not the correct word at all. It only gives a geographical idea, but not of the religion as such. So the religion he suggests should be called Vedic religion or Vedantic religion, because all the ideas that we speak about or are practiced by people belonging to this religion, they are found at least in the seed form in Vedas. Then they get elaborated in what is called Puranas, the text where you find the wonderful stories to depict or to elaborate on these beautiful themes, which are actually in their original seed form right in the Vedas. So that is why this Vedic origin of Mother Durga becomes very interesting to study, and it sheds the light on this, that it is the knowledge, knowledge that is lustrous like fire. In Kenopanishad also you see towards the end of it that the fire god declares himself that I am full of knowledge. I am called Jata Vedasa. And here the hymn begins with this goddess is addressed. Jata Vedase Sunavam Soma Marati Yato Nidahati Vedah. Now, the literal meaning of this first line is that the Tujata Vedas, that the Soma means it is translated in many ways. Some feel that it is an intoxicant used in Vedic times. And then people, there are references to that, that Indra drank Som and got so intoxicated and so forth. So there is a basis to this understanding that Som is some kind of a intoxicant liquid. But there is also the many other meanings ascribed to this word Soma. That is the bliss. The bliss that one feels, and that is the nature of the divine. That bliss is also called Soma. And Sunavama means it is being extracted. So the Soma, that juice, is also extracted from, there is a plant described in Vedas, that is the Somavalli, means the plant of Soma. And this plant of Soma, one needs to really squeeze and to get that juice out of it. Like one gets the maple syrup and all, you have to process to get that from the maple tree, maple syrup. So this is the like Soma plant from which this Soma is extracted. The whole symbolic meaning here is one puts in efforts to get this bliss in one's life, and it is offered to whom? Jata Vedas, the one who is resplendent with knowledge. So offer oblations of Soma to Jata Vedas. May the all-knowing one destroy what is unfriendly to us. Now, since it is of the nature of knowledge, what it will destroy? Obvious, isn't it? Now, all that is product of ignorance will be destroyed by this knowledge. And what is the product of ignorance in our life? Suffering. And if you analyze where the suffering ensues from, then you come to the ego, a separate sense of I, and I different from you. When you feel the I as different from something else, now this I runs after the other things, and that leads to suffering. There is no other cause of suffering. It is rather paradoxical, friends. Swami Vivekananda says in the Karma Yoga, almost the first page, that if you analyze the cause of the misery, then you will see that we consider happiness to be the goal of life and run after it. Look at the paradox. If we run after happiness, what should we be getting, Charlie? Happiness. No, it becomes cause of all suffering. Why should it happen like that? Think about it. The cause of the suffering, and this is said by Swami Vivekananda. So one must pay attention to this. Swami Vivekananda, who is bringing all the Vedanta knowledge to us in our language. So it is because where we run for happiness, and there is no happiness there, we are running for happiness. I have not found anybody who is running after suffering. Have you seen anybody running after suffering? Yes, Sangeeta? No. Okay, I thought that you are saying yes. No, okay, yeah. Nobody runs after suffering. And yet what we get is suffering. Why? Because we run for happiness where happiness is not. If we had been running after happiness where happiness is, then the result would have been happiness. Why we suffer is because we run after various these attractive things of the world. And then what can be expected, friends? Suffering, anger, frustration, this depression, all that is going to be the result. It is a wonder if that doesn't become the result. Because where the happiness is not, we run after it, and that is because of ignorance. And therefore, to destroy all our miseries, what is the weapon for it? What can destroy all our miseries? This Jata Vedas. Here you will see Mother Durga is addressed as Jata Vedas, that it is fully illumined like a very lustrous fire flame. So that will destroy the ignorance and all the products of ignorance also. That is why it is told that we this offer oblations of Soma, the efforts to get the truth or the divine awareness. That is also the meaning that you find in Vedas. Soma, one meaning, as I said, that an intoxicant liquid. So, but the other meaning also is there, that it is that which brings us true happiness. And so that is being extracted and offered to this goddess or god of knowledge. In our limitations of language, we associate a gender to it. But this hymn is very important to show that it is beyond gender. There is no particular gender to it. So, in fact, in the first stanza, it is referred to as the masculine. That it is because the word that is used, sa nah parshadati, sa is the masculine, and not sa. Sa would have been feminine. So sa nah parshadati durgani, that may he, the divine fire that leads all, protect us by taking us across all perils, even as a captain takes the boat across the sea. May he also save us from all wrongs. So here it is he, sa. And then the second verse refers to it as feminine. It is that, let us go to the second verse. Tam, now see, it is the feminine. Tam agni varnam, all feminine now. Tapasa jvalantim vairochanim karma phaleshu jushtam Durgam Devim Sharanamaham Prapadye Sutarasi Tarase Namaha. Now that fire, Agni Varnam, that now is given a feminine gender. Agni Varnam. It is now she who is of the appearance of fire. And it is how is that its luster, the resplendence of this fire is through what is called tapas. Tapasa jvalanti, by performance of this ardency, the uh, intense enthusiasm. That is how the word tapas is translated here. That like one when filled with lot of enthusiasm gets filled with energy and fire. There is the desire. For example, you can see our Charlie is sitting like that, just dormant, nothing. Maybe writing a note here and there, but mostly calm, peaceful, inactive, as it were. No energy manifestation. But when he gets a desire, then all the energy manifests. Swami, let me go ahead with my account work now. I want to get head start on it. Suddenly, what happens? The inner luster, as it were, comes out. So the fire comes out. I must do this. So it is with everyone, you can see how desires energize us. It is otherwise, there is no activity, but when something inside strikes, oh, I have to get this, then immediately you become activated by it. So, this is how this goddess is now full of luster, the awakened enthusiasm, and thus why it is referred to here is let the enthusiasm for us to destroy the misery or suffering be activated. Now, that is the awakening of the Divine Mother in this form for us, that Durga. It is here that you hear the word Durga. So it is, now there is the gender. I take refuge in her, the goddess Durga, who is fiery in luster and radiant with ardency. Who is the power belonging to the Supreme, who, now it is again the gender is changed to masculine. Just to show that there is no, for divine, do not ascribe any gender. It is, since our language is limited by these masculine, feminine, and different from each other, we try to apply the same idea to the divine as well. The gender is limited just to one's body, not beyond that. In one of our interfaith meetings, one Catholic priest, a very wonderful person, he has given a talk here also. The idea was, what happens after death. A nice discussion was there, and the Catholic father, who was at that time the priest at the famous La Salette in Attleboro. So he said that is why we Catholics, we oppose the divorce. That because when both this husband and wife die, if they are divorced, then they will have to look for some other companion in heaven, So I asked him that, well, do you think that when somebody dies, the gender, does it still remain? He said, I don't know. I am talking in the tradition. Not that I believe it, but I am talking about what is told in our churches that when you die, still you carry your gender as it were with you. No, the gender is finished. It is at a very superficial level. Just the physical appearance or body. So, therefore, since this is referred to with the because of the limitations of language, sometimes he, sometimes she, sometimes it. The meaning is that Supreme has no limitation of gender. That it is because many times the God is shown, especially in the Western world, as a big masculine figure. It is like in the Sistine Chapel, that Michelangelo's art, that a big bearded guy and God, it is. So therefore, many these days, especially the women, very rightly say, no, we don't accept such a God. That just a man. What about women? It is the God, is a man like that, a big bearded guy? It is not. So there is a story that they tell. Very nice and interesting, humorous story that actually God had created woman first, not man. It is, but what happened was that woman asked God, please give me a man. God tried to tell that woman, that will be a big problem for you. Don't ask for such a thing. You will repent afterwards. Don't. But as it happens, she was insistent. You find that even now, isn't it? So, yeah. So, with that insistence, after all, God yielded. That, okay, I am giving a man to you. He will be terrible source of trouble for you. Not only that, he will start claiming that he was the first and you were made from his rib. But anyway, now you have to bear with all this, but keep it between ourselves. Yes, keep it between us women. Means the God was actually what? A woman. So in that story. So yeah, now that you can think about like that, therefore here you see there is no gender for this divine mother. It is a relation which is very close to our heart, mother. So that is, and since that has the feminine character, we worship, we call Mother Durga. But if you see the Vedic, this original text about Mother Durga, the Durga is, and not only in this Upanishad, this very scholarly work on this Upanishad by Swami Vimalananda, a very old-time Swami of our order, very scholarly. So, he has given the references from Rigveda also where these texts come. So, it is, so this I take refuge in her, the goddess Durga, who is fiery in luster and radiant with ardency, who is power belonging to the Supreme, who manifests Himself. Now it is Himself. Manifoldly, who is the power residing in actions and their fruits rendering them efficacious, or the power that is supplicated to by the devotees for fruition of their work. O thou goddess, skilled in saving, thou takest us across the difficulties excellently well. Our salutations to thee. So here you see uh, the how do we get the fruits of our results? There is somebody who forms the connection. It is that is God. That like you have a lock and the corresponding key for the lock. Any key will not be able to open the lock. The lock has an exactly matching key, and that will be able to open the lock. So now, who makes both this lock and the key? Who makes that connection, this key, and will open this lock? That locksmith. So, who makes this connection between our actions and the corresponding results that we get from that action? We know this will be the result of this action. When we plant, say for example, an apple sapling, we don't expect oranges to be yielded by that plant because there is a connection, a relation between cause and effect. But who forms that connection? It is the connection like the key and the lock. But a locksmith forms that connection. So, one can refer thus to God, that this is an interesting point that is many times missed by people because we take cause-effect relationship as granted. But somebody forms that relationship. It is not without that formation, there is no cause and effect relationship. We experience this relationship that there is cause and a particular cause will give rise to particular effect. So, and it is observed. But there is the one who is connecting these causes and effects together. So this is the one great idea of God that you will find in Bhagavad Gita and other Upanishads also. It is called in the Upanishads, other Upanishads, Karmadhyaksha. So they presides over all the works. So it is, this is the power that is therefore pervaded in and through all the cause-effect relationship. It is, there is a note below this stanza. In this stanza, we get a clear reference of Durga, the goddess. According to Sayana, the word Durga, Sayana was a great commentator on Vedas. So, that word is etymologically shown to mean that the one who is inaccessible, dukkhena gantum shakya, that very difficult to attain to. That divine is very difficult to attain to by our regular means of mind and senses. It is inaccessible for those like our true nature. Who am I? Can we assess it by mind or sense organs? We cannot see ourselves. We cannot see the how it is operating through all this. It is not actually comprehended at all, and therefore many say this I does not exist at all. But yet, to say that the I does not exist, there has to be the I to say that. So, therefore, it is not possible to deny the existence of I, and yet it is not comprehensible by any such means. but can be comprehended by these meditations when we go beyond the scope of senses and mind. So there one can actually start feeling this. Feeling is a weak word actually. Start experiencing the I. So this knowledge, the Mother Durga cannot be known. Dukkhena gantum shakyaha is not accessible to our regular means of knowledge, and that is why the sages, they meditate on that. So it is in the previous stanza, the same word in neuter was taken in the sense of a difficult place or difficulty. In this one, the word is in the female form as Durga, the name of the goddess. Durga is therefore the deity who removes difficulties from the path of her votaries. That all the difficulties are cleared by this Mother Durga. So we experience the difficulties on our path in life. Whatever path, even when in the all our worldly aspirations, we face difficulties. Many times, this conversation I have had many times. Many devotees, oh, spiritual path is so difficult. Okay, let us, for argument, let us agree on this, that spiritual path is very difficult. Is non-spiritual path easy? That is also equally difficult. Are those people who are not following any spiritual discipline, is their path easier? Had that been easier, nobody would have turned towards spirituality. But that is also not easy. It is difficult. An example, analogy that I like to give, that if you drive the car in the right direction, you burn gasoline, or these days electric power, whatever, you burn that. If you are going in the wrong direction, still you do the same thing. It is not that there the power consumption or gasoline consumption doesn't happen. So why not go on the right path? It is not that only spiritual life is difficult. It is actually in spiritual life there is the difficulty, but gradually the difficulties are removed. Whereas in non-spiritual path, the difficulties go on spiraling more and more, and one gets completely entangled in it. Stretching the same analogy, that if you are driving in the right direction, then you will reach the destination and the driving will come to a halt there. But if you are driving in the wrong direction, you will never get there. And you go on circling here, there, everywhere, unending. One of our devotees, the GPS was a new thing at that time, and that devotee had GPS. So, but in putting the information, and those days many used to do that because there are these auto suggestions. So the person put the address, and immediately it auto that was shown that this is the and then just started driving without noticing that there is some problem, some mistake there. And so they were to drive to a hotel in Boston. Now the same address, the same street number, the city was changed because it was in Cambridge. So, and then They came to the address, and then mm, called me that it doesn't look there is any hotel like that. We came to the address, but there is no hotel there. Said, how could it happen in this way? There is no hotel at that address. Now please check the address. And then, oh my goodness, it was Cambridge, the same street number, but in Cambridge and not in Boston. So now again keep on searching, going here, there. So if that is what happens when we are driving in the wrong way, we reach some place that we didn't intend to reach, and thus we have to again reroute. This happens in our worldly, so-called worldly life, that we started to go somewhere, that yes, let me have this and I will be very happy. But no, we reach a wrong destination. Then we try something else, something else, something else. But if you go in the right direction, then you will go to the destination without a problem. So now again, in the next verse, this Durga is again addressed as masculine, calling that as Agni. That Agne tvam paraya navyo asman swasti bhirati durgani vishwa pushcha prithvi bahulana urvi bhavatokaya tanayaya shanyo. O fire, thou art worthy of praise. With happy methods, take us beyond all difficulties. We want methods also happy. It is, many times this question gets asked, Swami, is there an easy way of meditating? Tell me easy way of meditating. Now easy means what? There is nothing really easy in life. We go by all those, easy tempts us. Easy is a good word that tempts. Easy ways to learn mathematics. You don't learn, it is not mathematics in 24 hours. Not possible, you see. It is just to attract people. So this is a big trap. Easy. There is nothing easy. It is easy if you properly that move forward. You get used to it, and then that becomes an easy thing to follow. Whatever earlier at one time appeared to be very difficult, gradually when you get used to it, that starts becoming easy. So Agni, here there is a very nice note here, that Agni stands for the same deity mentioned in the earlier stanza. The words Tok and Tanayat, though in singular, are taken in general in plural. That Tanaya means your offsprings, whatever has come out of you. And we are all, in what sense? That Agni or Durga is our mother. We are offsprings of that mother. How? Like, just again another analogy. There is no other way to tell that. That just as all the waves, they spring from the ocean. Imagine, now the ocean is their parent. And ocean is actually pervading every wave. That in that sense, we are all the offsprings, springing out from that one divine principle, the Divine Mother. So it is then yeah, I will wrap up the next verse rather fast. That it is that this world is full of difficulties. That, O Jata Vedas, thou who art the destroyer of all sins, because all sins are product of ignorance. We don't know, and therefore the sins get committed. It is, look, you know what Jesus prayed to do about those who were crucifying him, that Lord forgive them, for they do not know. It is, they are out of ignorance, they are committing this. All sinful actions are actually products of ignorance, and therefore, so it is, they, out of ignorance, these sins are performed, and this ignorance goes away by meditation on you. You take away this ignorance, and thus takes us across all the sins. You know, the sin has, when you know that you have committed something that you should not commit, that creates a guilt feeling. Oh, I did something wrong that I shouldn't have done. That is the sin. And that keeps on tormenting us. Nobody else torments us more than our conscience, that no, I shouldn't have done this. And then this goddess thus clears it. Don't worry, you understood now that it was a mistake, it was wrong. Now go beyond it. It is, this is the consolation that comes to those who pray to Divine Mother. Okay, the sins are all taken away in this sense, that out of ignorance that was done, so don't worry too much about it. So it is, and then there is the reference to the great sage Atri, that as Atri has propitiated you, Atri was a great sage attaining to the liberation and showering this liberation on many of his disciples, a great sage Atri. So Atri one, like Atri. So as this Atri, that that it is, Atri had compassion for all. So, like Atri, you also have compassion on like this sage. Therefore, people had always observed Atri in a state of mind in which he was constantly remembering in his prayers peace and safety for all creatures. He became a byword for universal compassion. And you find this reference also in Rig Veda. So it is all, whatever may be the amount of sins or wrongful actions that one commits. The next verse describes that do not worry about it. We invoke from the highest place of assembly the fire god, who is the leader of all, who is the charger and vanquisher of the host of enemies. Enemies means all the problems that we have in us. We become angry, that is one enemy, and then we become jealous. A funny thing, but that is there, no, it is, one should not be jealous. But why there is jealousy? A very funny thing. I don't get something, that is one I feel misery for it. But then somebody else gets it, then the burning becomes, really very difficult. That it is, it is like that. So, therefore, that is an enemy. All these are to be taken care of. So, This is the meditation on Mother Durga as described by this great Vedic hymn, the Durga Suktam. Suktam means the uh, hymn in praise is called Sukta. Stotra and Sukta, these are two words, both have very similar meaning, but when it is from the Vedas, then it gets the name Suktam. And from other literature, it is called Stotra. So, anyway, we shall stop here today. Any question? Yes, Adi? Upstairs, he has to address that. Put it on. It's green. Speak. It is not on. The battery might be dead. There may be 100 causes. For it is green, it is something from the top. Here it seems to be okay. Probably a different number, and there are, yeah, things, we have modernized everything. So therefore, many modern difficulties appear there. So anyway, it is not working. Or working? No. So you put the microphone inside and loudly talk. No, don't worry now. Now let him speak loudly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that vyapti means both that which includes both cause and effect, and that is the divine. Cause and effect is included in that. So that is the vyapti. That it is means that pervades in both cause and effect, is more powerful than cause as well as effect. Yeah. Any other question? You have to speak loudly. Any question upstairs? Okay. So let us conclude with the closing prayers. What are the programs coming week? Coming Sunday, there will be a lecture on 5 jewels on Divine Mother. Speaker will be Rajeshwari Balasubramaniam. She is sitting there. She will be giving the next Sunday talk. She is an ardent student of the scriptures and very meditative, wonderful person, so, and very brilliant. So please come for that talk. Then other classes during the week, Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday is on Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Fridays on the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam. That will go on as usual. Morning, evening, meditations, prayers, that also will go on as usual. There is the spiritual retreat coming up uh, on November 9th by Swami Sarvapriyananda. There is a announcement poster there, and the registration you can do online or can do here itself. Our Charlie will be able to help you with registration. So it is. Why, Charlie? Huh? Oh, well, that buses go on till 11 o'clock at night. It is. So, don't worry, it is something will be happening about it. So, you can register here or register online. Let us have the closing prayer. May the Divine, who is Father in heaven of the Christians, Holy One of the Jewish faith, Allah of the Muslims, Buddha of the Buddhists, Tao of the Taoists, Great Spirit of the Native Americans, Ahura Mazda of the Zoroastrians, and Brahman of the Hindus, lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May the all-loving being manifest himself unto us and grant us abiding understanding and all-consuming divine love. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. There will be now Arati, and after Arati, there is a music concert, a santur and tabla. This together, you can see the poster there. A very well-known, highly skilled player of this 100-string instrument, santur, will be joined on tabla by Nitin Mitta, a very well-known tabla player. This concert will happen in the basement. So after Arati, we will go there. Thank you.